The apology coming from the FECAFOOT president, Samuel Eto'o. Of course, the Indomitable Lions have got the 2026 World Cup qualifiers just 2 weeks away from now. So, Valentine, thank you so much. As I did say earlier, what do you make of that apology by the FECAFOOT president, Samuel Eto'o?
It was a completely different Samuel Eto'o we saw yesterday from the one we saw just few hours before that at the FECAFOOT headquarters in Singa, Yaoundé. You know, it's been crazy, if I can use that word, crazy few weeks, or should I say months, in Cameroon football, because it didn't start today. I think this trouble between the Cameroon Football Federation and FECAFOOT started way back in March, when it was confirmed after the Africa Cup of Nations that Rigobert Song-Bahana could not be kept as head coach of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. FECAFOOT went on to publish a list of coaches it was submitting to the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education for one of them to be selected to be national coach of the Indomitable Lions of Cameroon. But all the coaches were ignored, and Marc Brys was brought in from absolutely nowhere. Everyone was shocked when this Belgian tactician was selected by the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education. So it started from there, and many would say that there has been underlying factors before that, but from this year, 2024, I think that's where the major issue started in this conflict between the Cameroon Football Federation and the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education.
Okay, should Samuel Eto'o's issue have been with the government and the Ministry of Sport for failing to communicate in hiring Marc Brys rather than Marc Brys himself?
Yes, Samuel Eto'o made it very clear, first in the communique, that the government took the decision to hire Marc Brys unilaterally. He was not consulted, or the federation was not consulted in the whole process. Yes, it is true that on the day the coach was being presented to the public, Samuel Eto'o was not present. His father's funeral was on that particular day. I think a minute of silence was held in his father's honor. And now, your question, should his anger be with the coach or the federation? He said to the coach. The coach
ministry
submitted, a list of players, pre-selected a group of players. Samuel Eto'o actually also selected a group of players that he wanted to be part of the coach's national selection. But the coach completely ignored the players suggested to him by the Cameroon Football Federation, also without communicating to the president. So I think
is that where the bone of contention is?
Yes.
Is that why we had a public argument between both Samuel Eto'o and the coach?
Exactly. Because when Samuel Eto'o presented, okay, you can select these players as well in your pre-selection, the coach completely ignored all the players selected by Samuel Eto'o. And also the fact that some members of the technical staff were also selected by Samuel Eto'o. But recently we saw that they have also been ignored totally by Marc Brys, and that's also been the issue. I think that's where Samuel Eto'o thinks that Marc Brys went wrong.
All right, Valentine Bambot, thank you very much for joining us once again. For me, I'm a bit concerned about the games that lies ahead for Cameroon. Now, we're having the coach having less than a week to settle in, and also Samuel Eto'o recently just apologized to the coach. Don't you think that this might make make it more difficult for the coach to succeed, knowing fully well that he has a bit of short time to acclimatize, to know the players, and also the opponent he's going to be facing?
Well, the coach had already engaged in a process of meeting the players. He met some of the players in person. He met most of them online through online medium, and they had lengthy conversations. He's already had this meet and greet with the players. Now, the issue was, this agreement between the Cameroon Football Federation and also FECAFOOT. Today, just saw the communique from FECAFOOT outlining in detail how the camp is going to start, how the players are going to group up, and how the games are going to be for Cameroon against Cape Verde and also against Angola. It is true that so much time has been wasted already in this embargo between the Cameroon Football Federation and also FECAFOOT. But I think Cameroon still have some time in their hand to start the camp. We really have players like Brian Biomo, also Andre Onana, and why not Kunde Malong, who are in the country, that have opted to personally pay their flight tickets and make it over to the venue for the game. And also, we have other players who have already purchased flight tickets and are going to be joining for the game. So the spirit, the Lion spirit, is very much present. But just this backdoor fighting between the Cameroon Football Federation and also FECAFOOT that has been, weighing Cameroon football down for quite a long time now.
Okay, I understand that for both parties to come to a truce, the Cameroon Football Association had to list out their own technical team that would work with Marc Brys. But now that Marc Brys has been confirmed as coach of the Indomitable Lions, what impact do you think the changes in the technical staff will have on the performance and the morale of the team?
Well, with the technical staff, it's been a really bumpy roller coaster ride. It started this way. The Ministry of Sports and Education selected Marc Brys, or assigned in Marc Brys as the coach, and also had their technical staff been selected. We had the goalkeeper trainer, the assistant coach, all of them were selected by the Ministry of Sports and Physical Education. Now, FECAFOOT stepped in, confirmed Marc Brys, but said, no, look, we want this goalkeeper trainer in Carlos Kameni, who is a former Indomitable Lion, and also named a group of coaches that they wanted to be part of the technical staff of FECAFOOT. But we have also seen so many changes with that, because after the confrontation Samuel Eto'o had with Marc Brys, that was yesterday, he published a new list of technical staff. I appointed Martin Ntungu Pile, who is a household name in Cameroon football. He coached the Intermediate Lions in the African Nations Championship in 2021. He's tactically very intelligent. Also, the likes of David Pagu, who has been nicknamed El Tactico. But these persons, in a recent development, also resigns from those positions. It's crazy what happened. Actually, Martin Tungu Pile happens to be a government staff, and immediately he was appointed by the Cameroon Football Federation. The Ministry of Sports and Physical Education reassigned him to another location, a remote location, in what many persons termed as a punitive transfer. And also David Pagu, who is current coach with Stade Renard, was appointed the assistant to Martin and Togo Pile. He was also reassigned to the eastern region of Cameroon and also a remote area. So
the Ministry of Sports are at loggerheads with the FECAFOOT because of Samuel Eto'o. Exactly. Is that what you mean?
So these two persons who were appointed by the FECAFOOT had to resign from the positions that were assigned to by FECAFOOt. And with the recent developments, with the press conference that was held yesterday, the Cameroon Football Federation is also proposing that they want another set of players. They recently also published a list of a technical staff. Now, not just their own technical staff, but they took some of the technical staff proposed by the Ministry of Sports and theirs, and they have not blended it. Okay. So what is the next thing that the Ministry of Sports and Education is going to do about this? We don't know yet. But as it stands, there is some degree of peace after the apology by the Cameroon Football Federation president yesterday.
I'm hoping that there is a level of peace, as you did say. But Samuel Eto'o promised the coach that his mission will not be easy. While the mission, of course, we know of any coach will not be easy, especially it will be challenging for any coach who take up a job like the Indomitable Lions head coach. Do you think Eto'o himself might contribute to making it more difficult for Marc?
No, I don't think so.
After that apology.
I think Eto'o, yes. Why I think Eto'o used those words is because the Cameroon population is a population that loves football. I tell you, I've been in South Korea now for 8 months, and whenever I meet someone in my university here and they ask me, where are you from? I say, I'm from Cameroon. They say, oh, football. Do you know Eto'o? Cameroon is famous for football. Many people know how much Cameroonians love football. And Cameroonians, they don't pair well with failure. That's why there was so much pressure on Rigobert Song Bahana. There was so much pressure on his predecessor, Antonio Conceição,
Okay.
on Antonio Conceição's predecessor, Clarence Seedorf, and Hugo Bruce. And there has been so much pressure, and there will be pressure on Marc Brys as well. Because if you look at his portfolio, where did he come from? He's never coached a national team before.
Okay.
Yes, he's coached in Belgium and in the Middle East, but he's never really had much success as a coach. We know that he won the Belgian Cup against Club Brugge. I think that's the apex of his career after coaching more than 10 teams. He's coached 12 clubs so far. So what exactly can he show for? So I think these are the great expectations from Cameroonians that I think seem to have been through to him. It's not going to be an easy task for him.
All right, we will be following up on the situation over there at the Cameroon Football Federation, not forgetting that Cameroon has also got 2 fixtures for the 2026 World Cup qualifiers. We have been speaking to a sport journalist all the way from South Korea with Cameroonian too, following up with all happening in his country football association.
Exactly.
Valentine Bambot, thank you so much for joining us on In the Game today.
Thank you so very much for having me, and I wish the best of luck to the Super Eagles of Nigeria.
Of course, I'm hoping that this will go all the way, a long way for them, because they've got South Africa, who they faced at the African Cup of Nations. Thank you so much. Why?